Hi, my name is John Cino. The name of my sculpture is Mandorla. The sculpture was made by laminating layers of plywood that were cut individually and then stacked together. After they were all glued together, the piece was encrusted with layers of sawdust. The sawdust then is very absorbent, and I could layer on stains which give it the richness of color. Now, besides the way it was created, there are the meanings that go into this sculpture. This sculpture is geologic. I kind of think about things like, well, the Grand Canyon comes to mind pretty easily, the idea of these cuts into the earth. But it also, in reference to the title, Mandorla, has to do with a form that is usually associated in religious art with the Virgin Mary. It's essentially a body halo that is shaped somewhat like a football standing on its point, and it is created by the intersection of two circles. So the center point of one becomes the circumference of the other, and you have two equilateral triangles. So there's a bit of sacred geometry that goes into this as well, too. I've been interested in the idea of the sacred feminine, throughout my whole career. I have works to go back to. Even in my undergraduate days, I've reached into that topic. I come and go from making works like that. But I had an interesting show in 2022 at Iona College, which was a kind of a cross-section of my career, but it was all based on, well, the title was Concerning the Goddess, right? So they were all pieces that were based on the sacred feminine, and they came throughout my entire career, and my work has changed substantially from time to time. But what happened was, in the 1980s and 90s, I had worked with this particular technique of laminating and also building up an incrustation of sawdust. After about 15 years of making very smooth, carved wooden pieces, I felt those pieces from 30 years ago and said, oh, I want to create this texture again, and I want to play with color. I hadn't played with color in a long time. So you can see the results of this. This is a piece that goes full circle in two ways. It brings back a way of working that I had left 30 years ago, and it reminds us once again of that the special nature of the sacred feminine. Just a word about that before I leave. I've always felt like the sacred feminine had been kind of forgotten in our times. We live in a world that is very patriarchal, that is run by men, generally speaking, maybe not all of the time, but very much often. And I think we have forgotten the idea of embracing the sacred feminine, which I also feel is earth worship. We call our planet Mother Earth for a reason, because it gives us our life and our sustenance. So we really need to protect our earth, and we need to protect the sacred feminine. Thank you.